Hello, my name is Jeff Craig. I'm the superintendent for the West Aurora School District, and we are back today sharing our January board recap for our 2019-2020 school board meetings. Our first board meeting in January was on the 6th of January, and as always, we start off with Those Who Make a Difference presentations. And at the January 6th meeting, the Early Learning Academy recognized Maria Martinez, the principal office professional. And that was presented by the principal of the Early Learning Academy, Dr. Lori Klomhaus. Then we move into the information section of our meeting, and we always begin that with a school improvement plan presentation. And as we normally do, we tie our Those Who Make a Difference with that school improvement plan to that same school. And so this is the Early Learning Academy that Dr. Lori Klomhaus, our principal at the Early Learning Academy, presented to our school board. There was an update on school safety that was shared from throughout the district that was presented to the board for information only. And this is our Handle with Care initiative. And this was presented by our Director of Student Services, Mrs. Marty Nearing. The Handle with Care initiative is something we're working on with our police department and some of our other agencies so that we can be more attuned to adverse experiences that our students experience out in the public. Our next information item was the results from our natural gas auction that was presented to the board for review by Mrs. Angie Smith, our Assistant Superintendent for Operations. The West Aurora High School course proposals for the 2020-21 was presented to the school board for step one of information by Dr. Jamie Max, who was our Director of Secondary Education. There was also a prior trip approval form for the West Aurora High School Social Studies Department that was presented to the board. The department is asking for approval to travel to Europe in 2021. And as normal, we have an update on our recent community events and efforts was presented to the board by Ana Gonzalez, our Director of Community Affairs. Our next section, our segment of the board meeting was our discussion items. The purchase agreements for the solar power at Greenman, Hill, Nicholson, Hopewell, and West Aurora High School was presented to the board for discussion. And this was presented by Angie Smith, our Assistant Sup for Operations. And at this meeting, we had no action items. So that takes us to the second board meeting of January 21st. As we remember, we always start off with Those Who Make a Difference. And Herget Middle School was presenting students and recognized them for those who participated in the Utah Band's Student Service Project, and this was presented by Joe Newcritch, our Assistant Principal of Teaching and Learning at Herget Middle School. Now we move on to the information section. The school improvement plan for Herget was presented by Mrs. Cindy Larry, the principal at Herget Middle School. She shared all that information with our school board. Our next item was a district asset was presented to the board for approval to dispose. The asset has not been used in 7 years and has passed its useful life. This item will be taken to be recycled. If I remember correctly, it's a light bar from the auditorium. It's just taking up space. Our next item is an out-of-state trip for the West Aurora High School cadets to attend Concordia Lutheran Drill Meet and was presented to the board for approval. The itinerary and information was attached for review by the school board. We also had an update on recent community events and efforts that was presented to the board by Ana Gonzalez, our Director of Community Affairs. At this meeting, we had no discussion items, but we did have two action items. The Board of Education approved the purchase agreements for solar power at Greenman Elementary, Hill Elementary, Nicholson Elementary, Hopewell, and West Aurora High School as they were previously presented. The Board of Education approved submission of the school maintenance grant application with required matching funds for Hall Elementary School. And that concludes our January recap, and we look forward to sharing what happens in February. Thanks for tuning in.